So, good day everyone. I'm very sorry for the poor audio last video. So, for today's video, we're going to solve this another integral problem. So, the first thing that we need to do is to distribute the integral sign as well as the dx to this expression. So, integral of 5x raised to 1/4 dx minus integral of 7 x raised to 3/4 dx. So the next thing that we need to do is to apply the constant multiple rule for integration. It states that integral of ax dx is equals to a integral of x dx. Just simply need to transfer the constant outside. So 5 integral of x raised to 1/4 dx minus 7 integral of x raised to 3/4 dx. So the next thing that we need to do is to apply the power rule for integration, which states that integral of x raised to n dx is equals to x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1. So 5 times x raised to 1/4 plus 1 over 1/4 plus 1 minus 7 times x raised to 3/4 plus 1 over 3/4 plus 1. And whenever an integration is done, there's a constant born, so plus c. So we just simply need to add 5 times x raised to 5/4 over 5/4 minus 7 times x raised to 7/4 over 7/4 plus c. And the next thing that we need to do is just to multiply 4 with the 5 as well as 4 here to 7. Simply reciprocating this one and transferring it here. So 4 times 5 is 20. And we keep the denominator 5. Minus 4 times 7 is 28x raised to 7/4 over 7 plus c. And we simply just need to divide. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4x raised to 5/4 minus 28 divided by 7 is 4. 4x raised to 7/4 plus c. Now this is the final answer. So before we go, we need to verify and graph this answer. You should make it a habit that every after you've got the answer, we need to verify, then graph. Verification allows us to check if our answer is correct. Graphing allows us to visualize what this answer looks like. The most common problems in school is just we are always taught to get the answer. We were not trained to verify it or even graph it. only when the teacher needs it, or that's what's simply given the instruction. However, this is very important for every problem that you'll face. So let's proceed with the verification. Let's go to this side. So we need to write the original problem so that we can check if our answer is correct. So 5x raised to 1 fourth minus 7x raised to 3 fourths. And for our answer, we have the 4x raised to 5 fourths minus 4x raised to 7 fourths C. So 4x raised to 5 fourths minus 4x raised to 7 fourths. Since this is an integral problem, we have to differentiate it to check if the integral problem is correct, because differentiation and integration is just related, or the differential calculus and integral calculus is just related. The forward operation is differentiation, while the reverse of it is integration. So y prime equals to this expression. Y prime simply means d over dx, or differentiating. So the rule for differentiating this, we need to use the power rule for differentiation, which states that d over dx x raised to n is equals to, we put n beside x, n times x raised to n minus 1. So we just simply need to apply. The exponent is 5 fourths. So 5 fourths times 4x raised to 5 fourths minus 1 minus 7 fourths. 7 fourths times 4x raised to 7 fourths minus 1 over, we just simply need to multiply and do the subtraction. So this becomes 20x raised to 1 fourth over 4 times 1 is 4 minus 7 times 4 is 28x raised to 7 fourths minus 1 is just 3 fourths over 4. And now we just simply need to divide. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. Did we get the original problem? Yes, we did. So just copy 5x raised to 1 fourth minus 7x raised to 3 fourths. Since this is an equation, the left hand side and the right hand side must be equal. So in this case, this statement is true because they are equal. Now that we have done verifying, now proceed to graphing. So in this case, we can now graph our problem and the answer. So y equals 4x raised to 5 fourths minus 4x raised to 7 fourths plus c. And we need to add the slider. So as you can see, this is now the graph of our answer. So we can just run this out so you can see it visually and how this actually looks like in graphing. Later on, you can definitely see a much better representation of new problems. But in this case, this is just the simple visualization of our answer. And to compare it to our original problem, y equals 5x raised to 1 fourth minus 7x raised to 3 fourths. Now, as you can see, this is the overall look or visualization of our problem. Because some of you might be worried that you're able to get an answer to a problem, but you don't know how it looks like. And also, without verifying, you wouldn't know if your answer is correct. So now we have done the graphing. Get the correct answer. We're able to verify and we're able to graph our answer as well as our original problem.